Yay, you guys, I'm so excited. Today's guest is someone who has completely taken the internet and honestly, women everywhere by storm, including me. Becky Robinson is the comedian and creator behind the wildly viral entitled Housewife character, a larger than life personality that has grown from social media sketches into sold out tours, a devoted fan community, and now an entire destination experience. From packed theaters to national TV appearances, excuse me, and experiences, and millions of online views, Becky has built something that goes way beyond comedy. She's created a space where women can laugh, let loose, connect, and not take life quite so seriously for a minute. And I fucking love it. And now she's bringing that energy to Tulum with the entitled Housewife Classic, a golf, comedy, vacation, and party experience wrapped into one that is absolutely going to be one hell of a time. Becky, I could not be more excited to have you on the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on.
Very hell of an intro.
Hey, listen, I aim to please, you know? Listen, you're doing a lot of cool shit, man. You're amazing. This is like we're all of us C-suiters, all of us ladies listening, we bow down. We bow down.
It's weird hearing it all, rather. I'm like, okay, yes, we have been busy. No, this morning I was on ChatGPT going, is it normal that I'm tired? ChatGPT's like, yes, you dumb bitch.
Is burnout normal?
Yeah.
You know, I think I was talking to somebody else about this, and I have been on other podcasts, and I think the worst part is like sitting through the like intro where they're like saying all these great things about you, and you're just like,
yeah,
and you're like cringy, like come on, get over it. It's like cool at the same time because you're like, hell yeah, I'm a badass, and then you're like,
yeah, just got to choke it down,
right.
Suck it up. It's cool things.
we're all very experienced in these things. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I know all about you, and many of the women in the INTS network know about you. But before the sold out shows and the viral videos and all the amazing things you've built, who was younger Becky, and were you always funny? Were you always the funny one?
Yeah, younger Bex was batshit. I didn't remember this, neither did my parents, but they found a video from when I was like 6 years old, and I'm bouncing a tennis ball, and I'm like, I lay out my whole life plan, and I'm like, first I'm gonna be a level 10 gymnast, which, made it to about 8/9. Like there's a lot of things that I like. And I was like, then I'm gonna move to California and I'm gonna be a comedian. I'm gonna be an actress, so I'm a comedian, a funny actress. And then when I get very old and bored of that, when I'm 30, 30
when you're anciently 30.
When I'm 30 and dying, I'll do hair. I said I'm gonna do hair, and I'm gonna but I think, yeah, I was the youngest of three, and my parents were just blunt with me. Like they were like, we're tired. We only planned on having 2 kids. And my mom sometimes thinks this is crazy, but like, you're very observant. I mean, most comedians are very, very observant, like to the point where it's like, you can't turn it off. And I think at a young age, I was just like, I have to make these people laugh because they're worried. Like, it felt like we didn't have enough money for a 3rd kid. And I was just like, in order to keep them laughing and not angry and screaming, I gotta be completely ridiculous. And once I got some like reinforcement, and my older sister was always like feeding me stuff to say, and I loved it. I had a lot of energy. I liked to be performing, and I always had like wigs and stuff. It was always like very physical comedy, and around a lot of older kids and wanting to do whatever, like pull my swimsuit up my butt cheeks and be like, look at this. Like,
were your siblings funny too?
I think my sister is the funniest one in the family, but she's shy. She's an ER nurse. And then, yeah, my brother, yeah. My parents are pretty, my dad really likes attention. Like he likes to command the room and tell a story, even though he's told it 100 times. And my mom is just like witty and smart and like badass and like comes in with the, the hooks.
Amazing. I mean, I feel like most comedians have parents that are at least quick-witted or sharp because that's where they're getting that from. And I feel you on the wigs. Do you remember you might be too young to remember this, but remember the fluffy toilet seat covers?
Yes.
When I was a kid, I wore those like wigs, and I'd be like doing on the shows for the fam, like forcing them to watch my amazing shows. So I feel this deeply. I feel this
Yeah,
deeply.
the toilet
Amazing.
scene, so creative, Carrie.
I mean, honestly, your comedy is so outrageous, but it's so hilariously relatable. How did you come up with entitled Housewife, and how much of it comes from real life observations or experiences?
So much comes from real life. I think it also that character had been brewing for a really long time, and, I did, I had, like, 6 other characters that I've been doing for a long time, and I did, like, Just for Laughs in Montreal is a thing you audition for year after year when you're a comedian, and you can audition for stand-up or characters. I auditioned 2 years for stand-up and then 2 years as characters, and it always just kinda felt like the more I leaned into characters, the more just better things kept happening. It
Yeah.
felt like
Well, I think
I don't know, I could just let loose and, like, lose myself in these characters that I had spent so long, like, observing, and I think being in LA too, I'm so just like anybody that takes something seriously, I'm always very interested and curious about that. And then during the pandemic, I'd been doing stand up for like 10 years and my parents and my sister were both up in Oregon. My sister was like, "You should come home. I don't know if mom and dad are going to survive this." And so I packed up like 30 fucking wigs and I flew up to Oregon and yeah, I was trying to help my sister for a little bit because she's, like, working in the ER and, they had no PPE and, like, they were trying to figure out what the hell was going on with COVID, and, like, at the same time, I just started, like, boozing heavily. I was like, "My sister's out here saving the world, and I am just, doing nothing." I was like, "I've got nothing to offer anybody." And then, I was like, "Okay, how can I be, like, productive a little bit?" Or, I did, like, a couple stand-up shows on Zoom, but I was like, "This isn't it. This isn't my best foot forward." And then my sister was kind of like, "I feel like I have patients to take care of," and because I was, like, down and I was down bad, and she was like, "You should go to mom and dad's, like, I think you need, honestly, like, some help." Like, I was struggling and, um, I just yeah, with all that energy and nowhere to put it, I was really lost, and I kinda went to my parents, and I watched them during the pandemic, and after going from my sister and, like, hearing about the hospital to my parents then being like, "This is the best time of our lives. Golf is all we have." My mom's like, "I don't wanna be fucking locked down. I need a fucking White Claw." And, like, I just sat there and I was like, "Oh, you guys are out of your minds." Like, I hadn't because I went away when I was 18 for college, and I hadn't really been home for more than, like, a brief holiday or something ever since then. I was like, once I moved away, I was like, I'm starting my career, I'm starting my life, like, getting down to SoCal, and I started doing stand up immediately while studying business and sorry, I just went off on a tangent, but
No, it's amazing. And I think it's like, so I could totally see how you would feel like your sister is like, an ER nurse, and it's this like emergency across the whole globe. And she's like, you're
yeah,
feeling like she's doing all these amazing things. And you're like, what am I doing? I'm making people laugh or whatever. So I could totally
yeah,
relate to what you're saying, because I think a lot of people felt like, what am I doing with my life? I'm
yeah,
whatever, pick a career, right? And they're just like, what's happening in the world? So I love it
yeah.
that you had your parents to go to, and that they were apparently slightly insane. This is amazing.
They were very insane, yeah. I think it was good for them to like, it's the character has been such a mirror for them. Like, I basically I think my parents went on a long drive. I had been at their house for, like, a few days, and they were like, "We're going fishing or something," and they left, and I went up into their closet, and I assembled the entitled outfit, and it started with the voice. I started pacing around, like, the house I grew up in, cul-de-sac in Tigard, Oregon, and I was like, "Oh, I need a White Claw, and I wanna go to the golf course, and this is just fucking beyond." Like, my parents, they don't cuss a lot, but then when they, like, get angry, it's like, "Fucking shit, fuck," like, and they get explosive, and so a lot of my characters start with a voice, and then I went into my room and I found this blonde wig, and I hadn't worn it yet, and I put it on, and I grabbed my dad's Oakleys and a visor and, like, a polo from my mom, and I just, like, looked in the mirror and immediately started laughing, and I truly, Carrie, it was like this huge have you ever been, like, so sad to where you're like, all I see is darkness, and then, like, something makes you genuinely laugh, and it's like you break free of this I don't this darkness, like, it was the first
Yeah.
time I had laughed in months and, like, really laughed, and it was just so silly, and it, like I don't know, I was like, "If it made me laugh, maybe it'll make one other person laugh," so I kinda just started improvising and, like, filming it. It was truly probably like a manic episode, you know? And
Well,
just
we all thank your parents for going on that drive because that's amazing.
yes, yeah, needed him out of the house to start improvising, and I kinda just, like, filmed for 5 hours. I got in my dad's Tahoe, and I, like, drove to the golf course with a couple White Claws in the center console, and, like, I just improvised for probably 5 hours, and I was laughing, and yeah, I was just like, God, comedically I think I had brought so many wigs home, but, like, I wasn't doing a lot of characters. I wasn't doing a lot of much. I was doing a lot of voiceover, which was very helpful during the pandemic, but, uh, yeah, I kind of made this first video. I, like, edited it, had a glass of Sauvy B, edited this video, and then I was like to my sister, I was like, "I can't post this, like, it's pandemic, no one wants to try and, like, be funny right now. It's gonna be so humiliating," and she was like, "Dude, I think it's kind of fucking funny," and she was like and I'm at the hospital and, like, I don't know. So I took an edible and I was like, "All right, whatever." So I posted the first video
Winning.
posted the first video and just I had never gotten such a response from, like, friends, family, celebrities, like, all these people, the Real Housewives were sharing it, and, like, actors that I looked up to for so long were sharing it, and, like, Chris Pratt was like, "If you're making a movie with this, I wanna play Scott. I wanna play the husband,"
Oh my
and
god, that's amazing.
it's
Well,
just
and also just, like, people wanna laugh, like, that's the one thing, like, no matter how shitty we feel or
yeah,
if we're happy or sad or in between, it's like laughing is just, like it's like pure medicine. So it's like,
totally.
even like you were thinking like, "Oh my god, everything is so serious," but exactly
Yeah,
why, like, when
yeah.
things are like that, people
It's
just need to laugh. I mean,
yeah,
did
and it's
you
weird, like, being in comedy, like, I forget that myself sometimes. Like, I'll get
Yeah.
in ruts where everything seems dark, and then, like, I don't know if it's also just, like, pre-period like, 2 weeks out of every month, I'm like, "I'm kinda sad," you know?
Yeah. Well, and like
And,
people want to feel, they want to laugh, It's like that's like a consistent no one's ever bummed if they like laugh their ass off. Like if you just find something totally ridiculously funny in the middle of the day, it's like, yeah, I
yes.
want more of that every time.
Yeah. Fucking A, I
So
needed that.
when you like so you became this character, you send it to your sister and then you're like doing it and you're getting all this response, but from that moment to like where it is now, like as it's become such this phenomenon, at what point did you realize this was like not a funny bit anymore and it was like a real movement, it was a real like community?
Um, pretty the support from the girls right off the bat was wild, and I think I was quick to be like, "How" I mean, I don't wanna say, like, I was immediately like, "How do I monetize this?" But I was kinda like,
But yes, how do
we
you
all
monetize this? How do I make this a biz?
I was like, "I'm not on tour, I'm not doing stand-up," so I started a Patreon, and I was, like, uploading videos to that, and then, like, just kind of started doing everything, like, cameos, and then, I thought, like, "Okay, I've always loved doing sketch," and I was like, "I'm gonna put together a full live hour-long show." And I'm gonna live stream it during the pandemic. And I did like a few characters. I did a couple pre-tapes, kind of like SNL. They'll tape a couple
Mhm.
sketches early
Yeah.
on, and then the rest is live. And I brought in like a couple comedians, shot it at my manager's office. And when I first like went on sale with it, because I'd been on tour, like not really selling tickets. I had done one TV show, Wild and Out, and like I wasn't selling out venues at all. I was just playing clubs and like kind of just getting by and, doing what I love, but like just getting by. And this live show immediately sold like 2 or 3,000 tickets. And we were just like, oh shit, like there's 3,000 people tuning into this live stream thing that we did. And so I did two of those during the pandemic and was like, there's something going on here. There's something like special with this character. And it's just so close to home that it felt like I could improvise forever in this character. And like, it's a big part of me, I think, because it comes from the family stuff. And yeah, I think also hearing like the people that were just the messages I would get from people that were like, I can't like I was so sad and like you got me through this pandemic, you got me through this divorce, or like anytime I feel bad for like putting a price on something, I'm like, no, it's these people that they love it and they're happy to, happy to have someone like make them laugh.
Yeah. And also like I mean what's really interesting is like you had that moment too where you were super down and
Yeah.
then something this character specifically you creating it made you laugh so hard and it like it totally rejuvenated you, right? And so it's
Sure,
the
yeah.
same for all the people listening to you. Like they you really bring joy and so much fun to everybody's life. And your audience is incredibly loyal and the women seem to really see themselves in your comedy or somebody they know or why do you think that women connect so deeply to this character specifically and the world that you've built?
I think that's honestly why it's probably been such a fun and successful run is because it's like geared toward like the women that I've met along the journey, like even right off the bat, the first video, like some of the messages I got, like they've kind of like helped me along the way. Like, the girls who are, in all different walks of life. Some of them are CEOs, some of them, were starting their own company, or some of them are moms or, or whatever. And, they just had so much insight. Like, you should do this, you should do that. And it was like this amazing network of like the gals that would come out. I felt like I had this incredible, yeah, army of support of like these people that are smart and the girls they're goddamn resourceful. I
I mean,
mean,
I tell you.
like we make a lot of merch at the shows. Everyone's like, "You, this looks like Nordstrom," but like the girls, they make their own merch. They come. It's like I'm like, this is better than anything I could have created. And they just did it in their
Yeah.
time.
I always wondered that, like, when you see all these women, like, dressed up as entitled, like, at your events, like,
Yeah.
first of all, it's gotta be a total fucking riot, number 1. But number 2, like, were you surprised when like, people started Rocky Horror Picture showing that? They're showing up in their costume, man. They're like, they're doing it, you know? So, like, were you surprised by that when it
Yeah.
first started happening?
I didn't would ever expect that was gonna happen. I don't think I realized how much these like moms or women were feeling like they couldn't say certain things because I'm not a mom. And I feel like if I do have kids, I'll probably be like, I'll be like, I wouldn't call them little shits like I do Dashiell. Like I don't know if I will or not. Because
Right.
I don't have them. But these moms that were like, God, it just feels so fucking good to say this stuff and just say, fuck you, husband. I need a glass of wine. Like I am doing all of this shit. I'm exhausted and like you're no help. And I didn't, and now I've spent so much time at country clubs, and I even joined a country club. Entitled and I we're becoming one at this point, but um, I didn't realize too so many of like the country club politics. Like I knew some stuff, but I mean I know that like a lot of clubs still don't allow women, or like and I'll go to clubs to perform, and the GM will pick me up from the airport, and he'll be like, "Yeah, a lot of women joined during the pandemic, and they barely, they're there to drink." And I'm just like, "Fuck off." The girls are taking over.
Right.
But just like that for them to be able to like play music on the golf course and feel comfortable and like dance, like it's such a fun, ridiculous sport. And my dad was always very serious about it. And so once I started like playing with it and the girls got on board, I was just like, oh, this is fun. Cause I love sport. I have a huge sports background and like I like being active. I like dancing. It's how I like calm down. And yeah, it was kind of just like all these things coming together after all these years of doing stand up and trying characters and throwing shit at the wall. This one just felt like right place, right time, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I'm
Well,
like so insanely grateful. I'm honestly kind of like, well, can I do it again? Like,
right. Is there another character in there? No, I think that a lot of the women, the whole golf thing, I think why that part of it resonates so much is just like you were saying, like, it's kind of like it was like a man's thing. And then like women played, but it's gotta be, so proper. What are you
yeah,
wearing? It's very particular about what you wear and the rules, and you gotta be proper. And so you come out here just like blazing out and like saying all the things everybody wants to say and like just letting loose. And I think that's why a lot of women are just like, hell yeah, like I need more of that in my life. But you created something obviously that brings women together through laughter and fun and not taking life too seriously. But when you have like a show, what do you hope women actually feel when they leave one of your shows? Do you have like, are you just like, do you have, or do you even think about that?
I hope they feel like, at least for a couple hours, the world isn't ending. Like lighter. It's like with you. It's not that serious. Like I worry so much about everything, and like comedy, I feel like it kills me and it saves me all at once. Like there's times when it's really hard and it's hard to write stuff, but then once you can laugh at something and like make it funny and come out and then tell the story to people that are like, I can't, I went through something similar to that shit. Like you're sharing these experiences and it's just like, I just want people to feel better about everything. Like, just lighter, happier, like, oh, okay, everything's not the worst ever. Like we're gonna be okay. I'm not alone, really. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
That's
And I
yeah.
and I think a lot of people feel like that right now, especially like the climate of the way everything is right now,
Oh,
just
yeah.
not in the US only, just all over the place. That I think it's so refreshing just to be able to laugh at something, even if it's like something totally stupid. It's like it doesn't matter. You're laughing, right? It's like a load off from current, climate. But
Yeah.
you have people see the fun and the chaos, but you have built behind the scenes, you've built a massive business and a brand. So I think that's like our listeners specifically will be very interested in understanding or knowing like what's been the most surprising part of building this at such a huge scale on the business side of things.
What's the most surprising thing?
Yeah, or the thing that you were just like, holy shit, like I wasn't prepared for this. Because I think a lot of people think, oh well, I'd just do this, or I'd be this way, or I'd be that way. But I think a lot of that stuff kind of comes, you kind of go on the fly and learn it along the way.
Yeah, learn definitely a lot of learning by doing. Yeah, just diving in and learning how to bring on certain people to do certain things, like, learning how to not do everything yourself, um and then just kind of like keeping it fresh and keeping it creative, and all while being scared shitless and like not sure if anything's going to work, but taking risk after risk after risk and just being like, well, maybe we'll laugh about it if something does go horribly wrong. But yeah, I was scared so much of the time, and I was living in this little neighborhood on the PCH. It was like 3 rows of these small houses right on the PCH during the pandemic. And like it was called Malibu Village. It burned down during the Palisades fire. But everyone in Malibu Village, like they would help me pack merch. Like we would we would like take little chocolate mushrooms and like pack the merch, like little
That's
Christmas elves.
amazing.
And like I would
Community.
like come over, like I have drinks, I have food, and like I need help with this stuff, and like hiring my first assistant, and like the girl that I like finding someone to do merch with, and photographers and videographers. It's like so many people. And then also I think my manager is very like entrepreneurial, which you don't see a lot in this industry. A lot of people are like, no, we just stick to the way things are done. And he's always been different. Very cut from a different cloth. And like he sees things and he's like, oh shit, this is exciting. Like I'm gonna invest in this and like let's try this. And that's kind of the way I am too. Like, I'm willing, I put the tour the tour is it's all it's I don't know, it's grown in such a way that I've uh, I've had periods throughout the fear where I've really stopped trusting myself, and when I look back on the past like 5 years, I'm like, man, I wish I would have had someone telling me to like trust my instincts, because you're just guessing a lot of the time, or you're asking people for advice, and a lot of times you're so busy that you're not like really trusting yourself, and like you're the one that got you there, and and yeah, once the tour, it was kind of like it all fed each other. The tour started grossing like multi millions of dollars, and so I was like, okay, I want to shoot a special, I want to shoot a docu series, and like I'm able to take all this money and put it here, and it's like, it just all felt like, yeah, it's business. You reinvest, and there were periods of like, it's like, okay, I've accomplished this and this. Should Netflix, or shouldn't I be getting this by now? And just no, it's not the case. Like you keep going, blazing your own path.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is we talk to so many different women on this podcast, and they're all doing amazing things. They're all building their own businesses and doing amazing things. And the main commonality is not that they don't have fear. They all have fear. Everybody's got fear. But the difference of the successful women versus women that either stay stagnant or have trouble launching of whatever they're doing is that they are able to like power through the fear. Like they still have the fear, but they're somehow able to power through it and just say, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. But they all still have it. And I just think that sometimes people looking in from the outside are like, oh, Becky's fearless, Carrie's fearless. And that's just not true. You still have the fear. You're just like, fuck it. What do I have to lose? Like if I don't go for it, I'm still in the same spot I was in before.
Yeah, racked with fear and worry constantly.
Right. And what a wasted emotion. I always tell, so I have a daughter, I have a 28-year-old daughter, and I'm always telling her like, and all the ladies in our groups, I'm always saying like I feel like worry is the most wasted emotion because if
No.
you worry about it all day long, it's still going to have the same terrible or fabulous outcome. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't worrying about it
makes
doesn't
no
change
difference.
anything.
I know. I know. And when I catch myself and I'm like, dude, it's comedy. Like, it's not that fucking serious. I'm like, okay, I relax. So it just takes all the pressure and you're like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. And I try to encourage all my friends too. Like, you have friends that you're like, okay, you're way smarter than I am. I'm like, how have you not started your own thing yet? And so I always try to, encourage my friends to like take a risk on themselves too. Cause I think you got to be a little bit crazy. Yeah, for sure.
What's been your like most favorite thing about this that just in its entirety, even if it's just like even if it's just being having a net going on Netflix or doing X or doing Y or whatever it is, like is there something that you're like, oh my god, that's my favorite part, even if it's something tiny?
Getting banned from the Norwegian cruise line.
Bitch, stay on.
Um, I
Can you
think
can you tell us about what happened, ma'am?
I tell my side of the story.
Right, I mean, let
Um,
it out, let's get it out there.
really like I don't know, sometimes I go, "Am I not loud about these things?" Like, I have all these ideas, and then I'll tell certain people about them. I'll be like, "I have this crazy idea, I wanna do this." They're like, "I wanna make this special, and I wanna make a docuseries, and I wanna do this, that, and that." And then sometimes it takes people a while to be like, "Okay, she means it," or like, "She's serious," or I'll be like, "I'm putting the money up for it, so I'm just gonna do it. You're either, get in or get out." And the special, I think, like, I had been saying for years, "I'm gonna make a special," and I kinda waited for a long time. It was like, "Oh, do you get a budget from one of the streamers?" But then I was like, "I really wanna make it this certain way. It's not a normal special. It has a character in it. It's a character and it's me." And I wanted to do this sketch in the middle with a golf cart, and everyone is like, "You can't do that. You can't do that. Here's why it's not gonna work." And we just pushed through, and I was like, "I will fucking find a way, no matter what, to do this." And when we shot the docu-series and like we were editing it, and I got these two badass female producers that made it with me, and they invested a little bit. Um, I just that was so to make something, because you do all these shows, like to make something that you can look back on and be like, okay, I've got a hard copy of these things, this tangible thing, and like right now we're working on a movie, and yeah, I just feel like the special was a big thing, and the people that I met along the way, and the movie will be the same thing. Like it's gonna, it's so much a labor of love with all the people. I look back, like I go on stage and I'm like, the only reason I got to shoot this special is because of the people that came to my shows for 5 years. Like they truly funded a dream I've had since I was 6 years old. And I'm glad that I didn't wait for anyone to say like, like I spent an insane amount. I think Netflix, they usually give you like $250,000 for like a first time special. We spent close to 500 on it.
Oh my god, that just means it's gonna be fucking fantastic.
I was like, I want this to look foxy,
Amazing. Foxy. Yes, we
Yeah.
do. We know what you mean.
And
We
I
want you to
wanted
look foxy.
foxy, yeah, like certain lighting. And I brought in these lighting duo, which like everyone was like, don't do that. The lighting duo, they came from the music industry. They worked with like Billie Eilish, and they were like, they're not going to know how to do comedy. And I was like, I like that. I want it to look different. And it's just, yeah, I had to trust myself so much. And I had some good people with me that were like, you got this. And Yeah.
I think that's a really good example for every woman listening, is just you have the idea of what you see in your mind of what you want. And even when people are like, like,
Yeah.
whatever, like, cool, thanks for the input, but I'm doing what I want. I see the vision and I'm going for it. And I think that's really the key, is like trusting your intuition. And the reality is, if it's fabulous, when it's fabulous, you're going to be like, hell yeah, I'm so glad. And when things don't go exactly as we want, it's fine too, because that teaches us like how we're going to do it the next time, or why that didn't work, so that when we're creating other things, we have a place to start from, right? Like, I always feel
Yeah.
like it's like, even like, there's no good and bad. I mean, things can feel like shit, but like, there is no
Yeah.
good and bad. It's like teaching us along the way, right? It's either
Yeah.
winning or it's teaching us something. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you love this conversation as much as I did. And we're not done yet. This continues in part 2, so make sure you come back and join us there. That's a wrap on today's episode of Carrie, It's Not That Serious. If this conversation resonated, subscribe and share it with a whip, a woman in power in your life. You can find more conversations, more community, and all the fun INTS merch you love at itsnotthatserious.com. We're building something meaningful here, and I'm so glad you're a part of it. Until next time, remember, it's not that serious.